Antarctic Ocean is the last place on Earth that still feels untouched, and that's because almost nothing survives long enough to disturb it. Down here, the water is colder than anywhere else on the planet. Storms grow with no warning. Winds can tear ships apart. And beneath the surface lies a maze of ice, currents, and creatures adapted to conditions humans were never meant to experience. This isn't just another ocean. It's a frozen battlefield where even the strongest vessels can vanish. And where nature doesn't just challenge you, it crushes you. This is why the Antarctic Ocean is one of the world's deadliest waters. If you look at a map and let your eyes drift all the way to the bottom, you'll see a huge white circle made of snow and ice. Around that circle is a dark ring of water that looks quiet and harmless. That ring is the Antarctic Ocean, also called the Southern Ocean. And even though it looks calm from far away, it is one of the most powerful, dangerous, and mysterious places on the planet. Most people will never travel there. Most ships will never go near it. Most animals on Earth would never survive 1 minute in it. The Antarctic Ocean is a place where the wind screams louder than anything you've ever heard. The water freezes faster than ice cream in a freezer, and the waves rise high enough to swallow ships whole. It is a place where sunlight disappears for months. Darkness rules the winter, and the sea never truly rests. The strange thing is that this ocean doesn't look deadly at first glance. When you see videos of Antarctica, it appears peaceful, with white snow, floating icebergs, and penguins waddling like they're late for school. But the truth is that the calm is only on the surface. Beneath the quiet beauty is an ocean that behaves like a giant predator. One of the strangest things about the Antarctic Ocean is that it is the only ocean on Earth that circles the planet without stopping. There are no continents blocking it. There are no land masses slowing it down. It flows like a giant belt that wraps all the way around Antarctica and keeps spinning forever. Because nothing gets in its way, the water in this ocean becomes the fastest moving water on Earth. This endless spinning creates a current called the Antarctic Circumpolar Current. And it is so strong that it pushes giant icebergs across the sea like toys, and can pull ships far off their route even when the captains think they are steering straight. When water moves that fast, it creates storms that build and grow and never really stop. Storms from the Atlantic, the Pacific, and the Indian Oceans travel downward, hit the fast-spinning Southern Ocean, and combine into superstorms that can stretch hundreds of miles. These storms whip up waves taller than houses and winds strong enough to bend metal. Some people compare it to facing a living mountain made of water. Most people think they know what cold feels like. Maybe they've touched snow, walked outside in winter, or dipped their hands into a chilly lake. But the cold in the Antarctic Ocean is in a completely different category. The water is so cold that if you put your hand in it for 1 minute, it would start to freeze. The temperature hovers right below freezing, but it never turns into solid ice because salt keeps it liquid. That means it becomes a deadly icy bath, where almost nothing can survive unless it has special adaptations. When something falls into this water, whether it's a person, a whale, or a seal, the cold attacks instantly. Muscles tighten, breathing becomes impossible, the heart struggles to beat. Even a strong adult swimmer would lose control of their body in less than a minute. Hypothermia begins almost immediately. This is why the Antarctic Ocean is one of the most lethal places for shipwrecks. Even if the ship sinks slowly, even if rescue boats are nearby, the water is so cold that survival time is extremely short. The cold also freezes the surface into huge slabs of sea ice that stretch for hundreds of miles. But the ice is not smooth like the ice on a lake. It breaks apart, slams together, and piles up into jagged walls taller than your house. If the cold and the spinning waters weren't dangerous enough, the Antarctic Ocean also has the strongest winds on Earth. These winds scream across the ocean with a force that can flip small boats, snap masts, tear sails, and blind anyone standing on deck. Scientists call these winds katabatic winds, and they start high on the icy continent, rushing downhill like frozen rivers of air that grow faster and stronger as they fall. When these winds hit the sea, they whip the water into massive, angry waves. They tear apart the tops of waves and turn them into wild sprays that fly like needles. They push storms forward, build bigger waves, and make the entire ocean surface shake. Sailors call this place the Roaring Forties, the Furious 50s, and the Screaming 60s, depending on how far south they travel, because each step closer to Antarctica makes the winds louder, wilder, and more dangerous. The combination of freezing air, freezing water, and screaming winds makes the Antarctic Ocean the roughest sailing area in the entire world. Even large steel ships struggle to stay steady. Waves slam into them hard enough to break windows, knock over equipment, and sometimes crack the hull. For hundreds of years, sailors feared this ocean more than any other place, because they knew that if they made one mistake, the wind and water would swallow their ship without mercy. Another deadly feature of the Antarctic Ocean is the long, strange winter, where the sun does not rise for months. Imagine waking up and seeing darkness outside. Then imagine the same thing happening day after day until you forget what sunlight looks like. That is what happens in the deep southern winter. With no sunlight, the ocean temperature drops even lower. The ice grows thicker. Storms become stronger because nothing warms the air. Animals that live here have special ways to survive this endless darkness. Penguins huddle together in giant groups to stay warm. Seals dive deep to hunt for fish that glow in the dark. Whales swim north to find warmer waters because even they cannot survive the winter cold near Antarctica. Ships that try to travel in winter face an ocean that is almost entirely frozen. Storms that form out of black skies and temperatures so cold that metal becomes brittle and shatters more easily. The darkness also makes navigation nearly impossible. Without sunlight, the ocean becomes a black mirror where you cannot see icebergs until they are dangerously close. Many shipwrecks in the Antarctic region happened because crews could not see the giant ice walls hiding in the dark. The sea turns into a maze of frozen dangers, and the night feels endless. Even though the water is freezing, the Antarctic Ocean is full of life. Some of it harmless, some of it strange, and some of it surprisingly dangerous. Orcas, also called killer whales, are the top predators here. They work together like a team of hunters, using smart tricks to catch seals, penguins, and even sharks. Sometimes they create waves to wash seals off ice floes. Sometimes they team up to corner prey. They are powerful, fast, and incredibly intelligent. Leopard seals are another predator in this ocean. They have long, sleek bodies, sharp teeth, and a hunting style that looks almost like a cat stalking its prey. They attack from below, using the dark water to hide. To penguins, leopard seals are one of the scariest animals in the ocean. There are also giant jellyfish, strange fish with antifreeze in their blood, squid with eyes as big as dinner plates, and krill that swarm by the billions. Some animals glow in the dark. Others have bodies so strange they look like aliens. While most of these creatures are not dangerous to humans, they survive in conditions that would kill us quickly, and their adaptations show just how harsh the Antarctic environment truly is. Below the freezing surface, the Antarctic Ocean hides some of the deepest and most mysterious trenches on Earth. These trenches are so dark and cold that only a few machines have ever reached the bottom. The pressure down there is strong enough to crush a car like a soda can. In these depths, strange life forms and underwater volcanoes create a world that feels more like outer space than Earth. Hot water bursts from cracks in the sea floor. Chemical-rich plumes rise through the freezing darkness like underwater smoke. Creatures with no eyes crawl across the rocks. Some have bodies that glow bright blue. Others look like gelatinous balloons drifting in slow motion. These deep-sea volcanoes can also cause earthquakes and tsunamis, especially when large chunks of ice break off from Antarctica and disturb the seafloor. The ocean floor here is constantly shifting, growing and changing, making the Antarctic Ocean even more unpredictable. For hundreds of years, sailors had to cross the waters near Antarctica when they wanted to sail between the Atlantic and Pacific before the Panama Canal was built. This route was called Cape Horn, and it became known as the deadliest sea passage on the planet. Ships were smashed by waves, flipped by storms, and crushed by ice. Many never made it through. Even experienced captains feared this part of the Antarctic Ocean, because they knew the sea could turn violent at any moment. Even today, modern ships struggle in this region. The combination of freezing temperatures, powerful winds, gigantic waves, and unpredictable ice makes the Antarctic Ocean the most dangerous place for sailors. Many countries send research ships there, but even those strong, steel-coated vessels sometimes return damaged by storms and ice. The Antarctic Ocean is deadly because it is extreme in every way. It is the coldest, the windiest, the stormiest, and the most unpredictable of all the oceans. It is a place where temperatures drop faster than you can blink, storms grow bigger than cities, waves rise higher than buildings, and darkness lasts for months. It is a sea that never stops moving, never stops changing, and never stops reminding the world how small humans are compared to nature. This ocean shapes our climate, controls global weather, and holds secrets that scientists are still trying to understand. It is beautiful, powerful, mysterious, and dangerous all at once. The Antarctic Ocean is not deadly because it wants to be. It is deadly because it is one of the last truly wild places on Earth. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want more chilling stories about the world's deadliest places, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss the next adventure.